Continuing on here, we've got the Tag Team Championship match. The New Day is going to possibly win the titles back. I friggin' hope so, against the Primetime Players. Do you guys think that Primetime Players are decent enough to go into SummerSlam with these titles? I really can't understand why that can happen. I want somebody to explain it to me.
They're not good enough to be a meaningless tag team that holds the tag team titles, yet they're doing it.
Yeah, I don't really think either of these teams are particularly great. I think the tag team division is in pretty bad shape right now. So it doesn't really matter to me where this goes.
Who do you think's going to win then?
It could be either of them. It really doesn't matter.
Primetime Players are taking this. I think they're pushing Titus, one, because of that fucking stupid dad thing, and they're pushing Darren because he complains about stuff online.
Yeah, I gotta think that Primetime Players are going to retain too, and it pisses me off. So I don't like that.
Tony, you just gotta believe.
Bo Dallas isn't in this.
You just gotta believe, Tony. I believe, and I do believe.
Shut up.
New Day's gonna win. I think they will.
Why?
I've lost fucking count.
What makes you think New Day though?
Well, I don't know. They don't suck like everyone thinks they do. So they have that going for them. I don't know. I think it's more appealing if they're the tag team champions than Titus O'Neil and Darren Young, because it's not 2012. And if I wanted the Primetime Players, if I wanted them to be the tag team championship, I would have wanted it in 2012 and not 2015. So they're a few years too late, in my opinion. So I just think it makes more sense for the New Day to have the titles, because I don't know. I have no idea where the Primetime Players can go from here, because I don't see the Ascension challenging for the titles. You can make a case for the Lucha Dragons maybe challenging for the titles, but there's really no one right now to take the titles. And it's weird to think that, like, at least once a year we talk about how it looks like the tag team division is heating up and it looks like it's going to be great. But then as soon as we say it, it all falls apart, because it happens every fucking year. And it's done for like the past 4 years since they've been trying, in quotes, to build up this tag division. And to their effect, it's not really their fault this year. Just so many people have gotten injured. Tyson Kidd ruined a tag team. An Uso getting injured ruined another tag team. And the Ascension sucking just really deflated everything. So what could have been a great feud or a great time in tag team wrestling is just shitty. It's sad to think that the Primetime Players are the tag team champions.
Sean, what are your thoughts on this?
Primetime Players, good. New Day, good. Enzo and Big Cass need a call-up so they can save the tag team division.
The idea that they're pushing Titus O'Neil, my bad, Titus O'Neil. What are they going to do with him?
Drop the push eventually.
I get that, but no, it's just like, why push him? You're just pushing a team, but like Titus O'Neil in particular, other than the fact that he won the Father of the Year award, which as soon as they mentioned that, I was like, oh god, they're probably going to push him because of this. But
because he's a big minority guy with a charismatic attitude, the crowd likes doing the dog bark thing. So
they like doing it a couple years ago too, but why are they just picking up on it now?
Because they wanted to do it now. They didn't want to do it a couple years ago. They wanted to do whoever they were doing at that time. I forget what the Usos, whoever they were pushing at that moment.
It does seem too late for me. Like, I mean, we've talked about this before, but like Primetime Players to me right now, they're not doing anything that interesting. And I know that, like, well, they've got the dad thing and they got the whole, like, Darren Young supporting, you know, that the gay side of things. And wouldn't it be great if we had these kind of guys pushed? And it's like, yeah, but I don't care. So, you know, it doesn't matter to me. Like, you could take anybody in any way, and if there's like a reason outside of entertaining to push them, I don't factor it in, really. It doesn't matter to me. But, man, like, I'm really confused about what they do for SummerSlam. Because if New Day wins, I would like that, but at the same time, I don't know who they would face because they're not building anybody else up. Like, Lucha Dragons aren't doing shit. Ascension, they basically just lose on main event every week. Los Matadores give me a goddamn break. We don't have anybody else. The only thing I can think of is maybe Jey Uso is going to be ready. And they could do the Usos. And if they're going to do the Usos, then they kind of have to do the New Day. They can't really do Usos against primetime players unless they turn the Usos heel. And
why?
I don't, because they don't really usually do babyface teams against each other.
Doesn't say that it can't.
No, I mean they could. I mean they could also do primetime players against Randy Orton and Cesaro. I mean they could do pretty much anything if they want to because it's fake. But like, I don't know. I mean, I can't think of anything other than the Usos being involved.
I think that they had intentions of doing something with Harper and Rowan. And with Rowan going down, they kind of skidded their plans aside, and I don't think they really figured out how to pick the ball back up.
What, they're like primetime players against Harper and Rowan?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I mean, I can't think of anybody else that they would have done. And they're fucked now. Like, they can't just be like, well, we'll just throw Harper and Rowan in the match anyway or something. Like, Rowan's apparently going to be out for like a little while.
Mm-hmm.
It was like 5 or 6 months.
Something, yeah.
It? I don't know. Whatever Uso got injured, he's been out for a few months now. I know his timetable was like 6 to 8 months, but we're getting close to that time. I think he could possibly return soon.
Didn't he have an Achilles heel?
Oh,
that was that?
Was it that? I didn't think it was that.
I thought
I don't think it was that because he was still walking on it.
Yeah, I thought it was a shoulder thing.
Yeah.
Dislocated shoulder, I think, maybe.
That's not too bad. He might have torn a rotator's cuff.
Now I'm curious.
You gotta go to the Googles.
I gotta Google it. Let's see here.
That spot at WrestleMania they did was a shoulder thing. They threw him into the guardrail.
Yeah.
Jey Uso undergoes surgery to repair shoulder injury.
Mm.
Yeah, so some kind of shoulder thing. But the last update that I've seen from him was him training, like trying to get back in ready like shape and stuff. I don't know if that's something where it was like, well, I'm training and I'll be back in a couple weeks, or if it's like I'm training and now I can actually lift up more than 3 pounds.
Yeah, he might just be rehabbing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he could be coming out there for SummerSlam, or he could be, another 3 months away.
Yeah. They're just in a bad spot because everyone got injured at the worst possible time. They just didn't bring anyone up or just make makeshift tag teams in the meanwhile. I mean, shit, Stardust and Goldust could have been something else too, but fucking Goldust is injured. Literally, everyone who was in that tag team division at some point this year just got injured, and it kind of ruined everything if you think about it.
Everybody except New Day.
And Titus O'Neil and Darren Young for some reason.
I actually think Tyson Kidd getting injured has actually done Cesaro wonders, to be honest.
It did, but
It's revitalized
Tyson
Cesaro's single career.
I think we'll have to see when it comes to that.
It's a little soon to tell.
Yeah.
They've more used Cesaro in a mechanic role these last few weeks. Like, yeah, he's had kick-ass matches, but it's not like he's on a push.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they could just drop him 2 weeks from now.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, well, we're building up to more important people in SummerSlam, and fuck you. Like,
Even though he's had like
The
3
only
matches
way I will
counts
believe
already.
that they are trying to push Cesaro is if they give him a mic in a feud. That is the only way you can make me believe that they're trying to push him.
It
Because
does look kind of like he might be next in line for the U.S. title.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't get too worried about that just yet. They did give him some mic time against Kevin Owens there.
Yeah, he could be feuding with Owens next.
Oh, that'd be so good. Especially on that triple threat. That was such a good triple threat on Raw.
So, I think we might have gone around, but I'm going to go around one more time just in case. Payton, who's winning? PTP or TND?
Probably primetime players, but it doesn't really matter.
Drew?
I wanted to be New Day, will probably be the primetime players, but in the same boat as Peyton, probably doesn't matter.
Walker?
They all look the same. I'm going to go with New Day.
Away you go.
I'm going to have to go with the New Day on this one. As much as And this is wishful thinking more than it is anything. So I'm hoping that the New Day win it, so that's who I'm going to pick.
I'm expecting primetime players, and I'm hoping I'm wrong because New Day rocks. And we've got one more match to talk about, Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar in Part 10. And all you got to do is click on that video on YouTube or listen on iTunes and Stitcher, because we'll be right back.